So I like to start talking about the homes because I personally feel like this needs an explanation. This is Italian Renaissance, antebellum architecture before the Civil War, 1857. Italian Renaissance is a bit tricky. It's called the Porsche Simmons Mansion. Italian Renaissance often has in Italy different style porticos. Like in front of a church, I personally would call these porches porticos. They compare and contrast well. Today it's condominiums. The next house was built after the Civil War, post-bellum. It's called the Dr. Charles Mansion, 1882. Dr. Creighton, who built this mansion, was the inheritor of Creighton Hall Plantation out on the Ashley River. The guy that saved Creighton Hall from being burned by the federal army. Dr. Keenan's wife knew how to make smallpox up the flag. The head of the plantation house. And when the Union Army saw the flag, they didn't want to take a chance of catching the disease, rose to the grave. So instead they burned his brother's house at Magnolia and the neighbor's house at Middleton Place. This is the oldest house in the block, 1825. It's a museum called the Edmonston Alston House. It was built by the Edmonstons. They didn't live here very long. They were a victim of a financial crisis in 1837. By 1838, it was sold to the Alstons. They still live here. The Alstons came from Barbados in the 1600s. They live on the top floor. The first and second floor is their museum. Because they've owned it for such a long time, 90% of what you lay your eyes on is original. 1925 Italian helicopter. 1925. This is where my boss is from. About their Uncle Sonny. Shot. That's 1920. It looks older because the foundations from a house before this. The next four homes we did. The next house is one of my favorites though, called the Roper Mansion. 1838. Roper was a wealthy shipping merchant. It was considered real good taste. If you learned well from the sea, you used a rope motif around your door. Keep in mind, his rope motif is fixed because of the name Roper. In fact, the guy that owns this house has 11 other homes nicer than this one. Many of them own more than just this. Not all of it, but most of it. I love that guy. In fact, I can hardly talk about that. It's protected by law, and the owner of that house has a glass case around it sticking to the third floor. Yeah, Dick Dinrat. I don't know. That's too much math. That's the Palmer's King Palace. Very cool. Palmer's have been in that forever. It's their bed and breakfast. The Palmer family always wears cake. They even died there. But it was built in the 1840s. This is the most my favorite house in the whole city of Charleston. This is Hurricane Hugo damage.
Oh, we still got the greenery.
It's really wild. It's this. During Hugo, the surge was put from the ceiling of the first floor. We just came up several more feet above sea level. The water didn't even flood this house. It went up to the last step. Look behind us, you can level it off.
Oh, yeah.
How come they haven't repaired anything?
Because she doesn't think she should tax it. She never had any money. Why should she sell just because everyone else? Called the Villa Marguerite. It used to have a cupola on top, a tower. It was a really fancy resort, built in 1895 after the Civil War. It looks like you think 1830s from the architecture, big revival. First house with an indoor marble swimming pool. Author Sinclair Lewis stayed here for weeks. He would get drunk and write in this house. Yeah, that was his freedom of country. I think I'm a little. Now we're going to see Martha's father's house. I used to work here, so I don't know how to edit it. That house is built before the Revolution. The front is hand-carved black cypress wood made to look like stone block. Martha was the third kid. She got the most famous house. Edward, by choice, to come to Atlantic, so that's why maybe Martha got such a fancy gift. You know, this is an amazing house, but the neatest part for me is just right inside the room. That little vestibule right there is gorgeous. The walls, the tiles from the Thomas Minton factory in England. Same tiles as if they've got the cross shape in it, the Trinity. It's amazing. The doors were added after Hugo destroyed the Normals and sucked out 60-meter windows. Many of their higher Hessian mercenary soldiers, the German soldiers, they hid in the chimney of that kitchen house so it's not too evacuated. Yeah, and it's really weird because it doesn't look that big. It's kind of claustrophobic. Most kitchen house chimneys are huge. There was this huge big boom in German last names after the Revolution. They got away with it easy. There was already a lot of Germans before the Revolution. That's the oldest house on Meeting Street. Lieutenant Governor William Bull, 1720. This is the Daniel Eugene House, 1760. The family that resides here, their ancestors moved into this house over 200 years ago. The one continuous nuclear family, if you will. They also hosted the Marquis de Lafayette in 1803 on his second visit. And this is the most expensive house in Charleston's history. It's pretty big. It's the Otis Mills house. It was the first headquarters of General Beauregard. It sold for $7.4 million 5 years ago. Dumb question. I forgot. I feel like I know something I was going to tell you, but I can't think what it was. Water Street used to be a large canal with bridges. Oh, Van Joff Canal. If you saw the spelling, you probably say that. Daniel Russell House, 1808. Russell was the shipping merchant from Rhode Island who built this house with the architectural wonder in the middle of the house. Free-flying 75-foot spiraling mahogany staircase.
Before I got in,
it's only cantilever. It's all put together with pegs and dowels. What makes that so unusual is that it was built from top to bottom. Free-flying. Every step is held up by the step above.